Let's see. Hey, whoa. What is this? What is this?
Leave me alone!
No, not again. Not again. Ah! One Punch Man Season 3 came out. And it's... Bro, why is his head moving like that? It's... His lips aren't even moving. Yeah, we're f***ed. Dude, he's grabbing shit out of thin air. I waited 6 years for this anime. I watched Season 2 right when it came out in 2019. You know, before I was rich, hot, and famous. And 6 years later, it somehow looks worse than before. Did they run out of budget? Were they not given enough time? Can I make Garo's slide look better with AI? Let's explore the train wreck that is One Punch Man Season 3. Thank you to Honkai Star Rail for sponsoring this video. So I was minding my own business doing important matters when I saw something that caught my attention. Honkai Star Rail is partnering with Crunchyroll? I always enjoyed watching the cinematics in Star Rail, so you love to see this kind of crossover. This time, it centers around their latest character, Cyrene. By opening the Crunchyroll app and entering the Star Rail crossover zone, you can participate in different missions to win bonus rewards. We're talking Stellar Jades, Lost Crystals, Dreamy Cones, and even a 14-day free trial to Crunchyroll's Mega Fan membership. All you have to do is perform simple tasks like linking your Star Rail account or watching videos on the event page. Videos like Chimeric Park on Hoyo Fair, Cyrene's character preview, and the trailer for version 3.7. And bam! Enjoy your free stuff. By the way, can we talk about Cyrene's design? The pastel pink hair with the Starry Night theme? She has best girl written all over her. I can't wait to see what she can do in game. Honkai Star Rail is like an anime in and of itself. Each storyline is so rich with plot, and the amount of care they put into the characters makes them hard to forget. Download Honkai Star Rail now by clicking the link in the description and click the event links to join this collaboration. Not even 5 minutes into the first episode, a familiar face looms its head. Jesus Christ, this is Blue Lock Syndrome all over again. Slap some really nice colors on a still image and call it a day. The amount of times they did this in the span of 4 episodes is staggering. At this point, bro, let me do the next episode. They should release a community coloring book where we color in the frames they're gonna use in the anime. F it, I'm already unemployed, I got time. Ah yes, the classic speed lines. Adding speed lines on a still image is like eating McDonald's without the lettuce, tomato, pickles, patty, and condiments. I just love the taste of nothing. What the hell? They animated her hair more than anything else this episode. I heard the director for this season is a hentai specialist. It's not me, I promise. I don't think working on hentai automatically disqualifies you from doing a good job on anime. I think that's unfair. But he is giving special attention to Fubuki, and I just can't prove it. And I get that it's a highly pressured environment with an ass-tight schedule. But does it have to be noticeably ugly? Like, tell me, is his head supposed to slide along his torso like that? It just looks fan-made. And that's so disrespectful to this fan who made a better version. They couldn't even draw his surroundings, they were so out of time. The only thing episode 1 tells me is that we're gonna have a lot of colored frames and a lot of this. Let's take a look at the first piece of action from episode 2. Yeah, we're f***ed. This is what I call the slideshow episode, because everything you see is either a picture panning across the screen, cutting from one scene to another, or it's literally sliding. Let me try that. Also, since when did One Punch Man have title card transitions? They used it one time and never used it again. It's so weird, it has no place being there. Which brings us to episode 3. This wasn't bad. They gave us the first semi-fluid fight so far, and it was done quite well. Honestly, the sudden quality spike was more of a jump scare than anything. Going from still images to a fully choreographed fight was like 11-year-old me searching naked boobies for the first time on Google. It was glorious. It better be. Because it was pre-animated. 75% of the fight was reused, which isn't my problem. When I finish a specific edit, I just copy-paste it like 2 minutes later. I'm not mad at that. I'm talking about the rest of the 25% they had to animate. They put boobies on the male monster, which is pretty hot, and also completely wrong. They flat out made a mistake on the character thinking he was a woman. And yes, I will admit this is extremely hilarious, but it tells you just how f***ed the production schedule is, when they don't even have the time to check, let alone correct these clearly glaring mistakes. I'm the only person in the world who will ever say this. I don't think season 2 was that bad. It wasn't good, but it had a lot of well-done fights. Specifically, Garo versus Tank Top Master. Basically, any fight scene animated by this guy Aoki was pretty good. I think people had impossible expectations from season 1, which we will get to later, and it led to the criticism being overblown. To be honest, season 3 looks worse than season 2 so far. The only thing redeemable about season 3 is that it's drawn better. Cause I hope their drawings look better if they're not moving. I got curious. How does an anime with a 6-year gap in between seasons look like it was made yesterday? For every anime that is made, there's a production company that has to buy the license to do that anime. They're the ones responsible for budget and funding, finding the studio to animate it, and crucially, deciding the schedule for each episode. So picture my face when I found out One Punch Man shares the same production company as Blue Lock. I looked like this, by the way. Bandai Namco was the company behind Frame Lock and now One Frame Man. The same company that forced the studio to cut half of Blue Lock's animations because they couldn't make their impossible deadline. The same company that's giving JC staff 6 months to make One Punch Man Season 3. According to this video by Easy Quartz, the idea to do Season 3 was decided in 2022 based on this teaser announcement. Okay, that's half of the 6 years gone, but there's still 3 years to account for, right? They only started working in March of this year. Why? Well, similar to why my videos take a month to make, I'm busy. But they're actually busy making other anime and stuff. The questions we should be asking are, why would JC staff agree to season 3 if they were busy? And why did Bandai agree to go with JC staff? I'm not gonna pretend to know the answer, but I'm gonna do what I always do. Assume, and you can let me know if I'm making sense. I think Bandai saw the horrible reception of OPM Season 2 and tried pitching it to other studios, but probably kept the same ass-tight schedule. Other studios said, nah, we actually have standards. So Bandai resorted to all-reliable JC staff, who probably did the job for pennies. But why would JC staff agree to this? Cause they agree to everything. What the f is Milky Holmes? Their entire business model revolves around making as much anime as possible, because more anime equals more chances of making money. This time last year, JC staff were animating 5 shows in 1 season. Think about that. While most studios were doing 1 show, 2 shows at best, JC were doing 5. And the funniest thing is, if you average the scores of all 5 of those shows, oh, would you look at that? It's a 7 out of 10. You might as well call it the score of mid. I'd go as far as to say if you average the scores of the entire catalog of anime they have, you'd probably get a 6 or 7. I will not be making that joke. So who do you blame for this catastrophe? I think it's 75-25. If Bandai knew they weren't gonna be able to release Season 3 by 2025, they could have waited longer for a better opportunity. But as we saw with Blue Lock, it's never about delivering quality. It's about capitalizing on hype. Simply put, if they wait too long, no one would care anymore. I kind of disagree with that, but I'm one person and they're an entire billion-dollar conglomerate. So what do I know? Bandai doesn't even make money from the show. Half that shit's being watched illegally. They make money from the merch and Blu-ray sales afterwards. The anime is just one big giant ad for those. So their goal is to shrink the budget as small as possible to bleed as little money as possible. And if we take JC's point of view, this is just another paycheck for them. Yes, quality and integrity and blah blah blah. At the end of the day, morals are free. Running a business isn't. The reason why they take less of the blame in my eyes is cause Bandai knew they were doomed from the start. They knew they weren't getting peak Ufotable with JC. They're giving them 6 months. Yet they still went forward with it to turn a quick profit. Everyone keeps comparing this to Season 1. And I think that's stupid, because Season 1 was a fluke. The story goes that director Shingo Natsume wanted to flex his muscles and have a bit of fun. So he essentially gathered the Avengers of animators and hired them as freelancers to work on the show. You got people that worked on Ghibli, Evangelion, Full Metal Alchemist, and me. I was on there, I swear. And contrary to popular belief, this has nothing to do with money. Here's the official character designer for One Punch Man saying on record, especially for anime, they generally all have the same budget. There are exceptions, but mostly they're all the same. The biggest difference is time and passion. The animators on Season 1 were passionate. Some of them only worked on OPM because they respected the director and wanted to show off their talent. Not me though, I do it for the money. Natsume himself said he wanted to do season 2.
So I personally, of course, wanted to do it, but this cannot be done just by myself. So I'm a freelance director, so I cannot do everything I wanted to do. So it comes with people, employees, their lives and studio and different kind of things. So it's too bad that, we can't really continue to doing it.
But Bandai probably wouldn't give him as much freedom and time to work on it, so that's why he left. What do you think happens when you completely overhaul the staff and replace them with a studio known for churning out anime and conveyor belts? I want them to prove me wrong. I desperately want them to pull a Blue Lock episode 12 on my ass and say they were saving frames. I just don't think that's gonna happen. One Punch Man will never reach the heights of season 1. They can't even reach season 2 in terms of animation, because some people will always choose profit over art. And until that changes, or the animators collectively sacrifice chunks of their life without pay, One Punch Man will forever be an example of how high you can reach with passion and how low you can fall with greed.